All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Prehistoria. I got another Muldoon Log. Gonna be going ahead and checking these out. I'm having a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with the first one. I had a lot of fun with the other dinosaur reaction things that I have. And if you can see over here, I have a whole list more that I'm gonna be checking out. That is, if they don't get copyright stricken, stroken, whatever the proper terminology is. Yeah, this is there's a stegosaurus on the front of it, but it still says analog horror there in the title. I'm so sorry. Use the camera being over here. There you go. Yeah, stegosaur was in the thumbnail, so I don't know exactly where the horror aspect is going to pertain. I mean, they were big dinosaurs that had plates on their back and like big ass spikes on their tails, so you know, could be worse, could be better. Who knows? Uh, yeah, so that's what I'm going to be popping into next. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to do the fun YouTube stuff of liking, commenting, subscribing, turning on the bell notification to this channel. If you have any game recommendations you want to see me play, if you have any movie recommendations you want to see me do a review for or a show, let me know also in the comments down below. And before we get hopped into this, ladies and gentlemen, there's two things we got to do on the itinerary. First and foremost, go check out Ali Awada. This is his channel. These are the videos that he has created that I am reacting to, so shoot on over there. I will have a link for both this video and his channel in the description of the video you guys are currently watching of mine. And then YouTube, this is a reaction video. I will be pausing it, giving thoughts, insights, and then there will be a review at the end of the video that makes it fair use. So let's go ahead and see what exactly horror aspects we're going to have with stegosaurs. I also like the idea of a Muldoon Log. Wait, it says velociraptor. Okay. But there's a stegosaurus in the thumbnail, so I assume it's stegos. Oh.
And there she goes.
Real quick, before we get further into this, just a little bit of a recap, because I like to put a day or two in between each one of these reaction things that I do. He went and checked the velociraptors. They were there at night. And while two were distracting him, the third one jumped at the fence, got electrocuted. She's dead. She had lacerations and stuff from the 10,000 volt fence. And the main female, who in the movie he says clever girl to, kind of ordered her death and the others to trick Muldoon into watching elsewhere while the third one jumped the fence. So, little nutshell, little recap, if you will, there.
That's our boned raptor. Adios. To hell with a lot of you. Now there's some checks I need to get done before I can follow the team over to wherever they'll take the dead raptor. The other girls were tranked with a ketamine dart.
Yeah, what would they do with the dead dinosaur?
Anesthetic, used to immobilize wildlife, along with xylazine, a sedative, to keep the raptors asleep for when we need to work with them. Now, despite how much I wish they all perished, unfortunately, I do have to check on how they are taking to the tranquilizers. Because one, if I don't, Hammond will strangle me with his bare hand.
That'd be kind of funny to see.
He's left the island for a short trip to see his daughter. And two, side effects are common for these drugs, so it's imperative that we check on the animals after administering any medication. The last thing I want.
Hold on a second. So he's free roaming with these velociraptors, and supposedly they're all drugged up from the time they went to go get the one that got turned into, KFC's fried chicken. And they're just free balling the fucking velociraptors? Like, why wouldn't they be tranked and then put in, like, those cages that we saw at the beginning of the movie? Or put into cages just like the one that took the burnt one away? And then you go in there and you go after the burnt. Because with the level of intelligence that he's worried these creatures have, and that we did see that they had in the movies, I'd be worried that they're faking it.
Is to have to tell John that we lost 2 raptors in his absence. This is one of the big one's minions, the younger of the two. John calls her Storm, because when she attacks the fence, she puts on an electrical display akin to lightning. I'm not expecting any adverse reactions to have occurred with her, as she's generally in good health. She's been tranked some half a dozen times before, too, so I'm not concerned.
Okay, that builds immunity. That builds.
Look for the classic adverse
Get
reaction
used to this
profile
shit.
just in case. The major one is eyes open. The anesthetic ketamine causes a state called catalepsy, a trance-like state, where the animal appears immobile but still maintains certain reflexes.
Ah,
The muscles around the
yeah, that would be
eyes
bad.
sometimes don't fully relax and may remain completely or partially open. In this case, as you can see, her eyes are closed, so I'm not
Yeah.
concerned about her recovery from the drug. Another sign to look for is increased salivation. I'm definitely not going to handle her muzzle, but judging
Yeah.
by the distinct lack of saliva surrounding her jaw, I'd say she's good.
Oh, her eyes open. Wait, how open is eyes open? Because I clearly saw the little flitter of the eye there. What exactly is open? That would be open to me. We're talking about a very intelligent monster. Oh shit! Hold on. There we go.
It's wearing off!
Robbie, get out of there. She's still drowsy.
So leave.
Robbie, are you clear?
Yeah, it's locked.
The trank and the sedative are wearing off. Is everyone out? Where's Tony?
Yeah, he's safe.
Okay, good. Get into the buffer enclosure and wait for me. I've never seen an animal recover so quickly from a dart.
That's what I'm saying. They're building tolerance.
So of disorientation and drowsiness. But I'm going to back away and exit right now.
No shit.
Christ, I've shot male African elephants in Kenya who took much longer to recover from that sedative. Might have something to do with the osteoderms on
The what?
skin, similar to those seen on crocs and alligators. A very tough hide to penetrate.
What's an
The dart must have
osteoderm?
found some entry point, but the complete dose mustn't have been administered. I don't know
Why?
what woo's cooking up in that lab, but I'd imagine Mongoliensis did not possess osteoderms. But then again, this is no velociraptor. This is John and Henry's theme park Frankenstein mishmash monster.
That is true. Well, you couldn't have
Pacing
purebred, right?
behaviors are often observed in animals in captivity. The repetition of this behavior usually correlates to when an animal's instinctive needs, such as space, stimulation, or the thrill of pursuit, are constrained or not met entirely. What may appear to visitors as restless movement is in fact a complex behavioral signal, a blend of
Yeah, that bitch is
frustration,
planning.
heightened intelligence, and an unfulfilled drive to hunt. Among the raptors of Jurassic Park, this manifests in a particularly calculated form. The dinosaurs stalk the boundaries of their enclosure, almost on a timed loop. What's interesting is, at certain points during the night, the big one will stand in one dedicated spot. What she does next shocked me the first time I saw it.
But
She appears to be calling to something outside the enclosure.
how long were they working on the Indominus? Oh, I love that. That is fantastic right there. Look at that. Love that.
And
Great.
here she is in all her glory.
Okay.
Velociraptor pen.
All right, there.
Not complete.
That's the pin we got in the movie. Okay. But can we just take a second and appreciate the fact that he had the Velociraptor like clock where that fucking camera was at? That was great. Well, to quote the movie, you know, one of the kids, that was great. What was his name? Tim? I can't remember the kid's name. I fucking love that. That was awesome. I'm curious what exactly she's calling to, because again, none of the dinosaurs were like purebreds, right? Obviously, we can't get a pure gene or blood strand from a T-Rex, a Velociraptor, Triceratops, Stegosaurus, Stiggy, You can't get that. So that's what makes me wonder if this ties into one of the hybrids we saw in Rebirth. Except this was year. How long ago was this uploaded? Would have been a month. Okay, so it could tie into Rebirth, where it was one of the hybrids that they like one of the Mutodons, I guess. And then obviously the test didn't go very well. It was turned into a reject and was ditched at that other island. I can't remember the name of the island in Rebirth because that movie sucked ass. If Rebirth comes to one of the platforms I pay for, Netflix, HBO, whatever, I'll watch it again. But if it doesn't, I'm never touching that movie unless you guys like donate it at some point. I won't be touching Rebirth again. But I do like the way that he did the raptor just right into the camera. That was pretty fucking good.
Fleet, of course. The guys are due to come in a little later and do some horticulture inside. John has them brought over from mainland Costa Rica, spared no expense, of course. I wanted to document some grind.
His quote of the
The
franchise.
pen is 70 feet long by 40 feet wide, and is buried in the ground 12 feet. The
Good.
girls are being transported into this enclosure a few days from now. The guys coming tonight are supposed to be planting this pen up with foliage to give the raptors privacy to mitigate stress
Privacy?
and provide some shade from the sun. It is essentially a concrete pit in the ground with an electrified fence ceiling.
Seems very small for three
Unhappy
big
with
raptors.
fortified concrete, as it's almost impossible for the raptors to escape. Almost. Let's head inside
That's tiny.
so I can reveal my issues. And boy, are there issues. If we come around here,
Get more of a Nigel Marvin
this
than
is the
Muldoon.
transport door. It allows the transportation container to attach to the pen and a smooth transition to take place, which I love.
Real quick, odd shout out, real quick. The Hyundai you saw there. This guy right here. I used to build those arms. Oh, you can't really see it because I guess my camera's in the way. But that's like a earth digger or whatever the fuck they're called. Arm. I used to build those for Komatsu.
Transition to take
Not a
place,
fun job.
which I love.
That's a whole other story for a different day, though.
Inside, here is our new raptor enclosure. Not huge, and that's one of my concerns. We're
Not
talking
huge,
about
it's fucking
ambush
tiny.
pack hunters,
Yeah.
3 of them, constrained to living quarters not much larger than your average apartment in Leeds in the UK. These are
Anywhere
wild
these days.
animals that have needs, and furthermore are highly intelligent animals.
Mm.
And what happens to highly intelligent animals kept in cramped conditions?
They find a way out.
They display disordered behaviors. They need space to run. After all, they're not called velociraptors for no reason.
Yeah,
These things
velocity.
can match
Come on.
cheetah speeds, 50, 60 miles an hour if they get out in the open.
Exactly.
My other concern is why the bloody hell has John approved this containment pen to them anyway? Are raptors not on the tour anymore? Why are they being
Probably
cleaned
not.
if their temperament is counterproductive?
Well,
to
because
the
you just
past?
had one commit sui trying to find a way to escape. You know how much that would terrorize people if they were there? Now, the one thing Jurassic World had that I don't recall if they mentioned in Jurassic Park is like a hotel, like resorts type shit. I can kind of understand where John Hammond would want the Velociraptors in something smaller because they're locked off up here. These aren't fences that they can try to find a way out of because obviously it's pure concrete. Until, Nedry or Ned or whatever the fuck Wayne Knight's character, I think it was Nedry, right? It's been a while since I saw the first movie. Shut off the power and they're able to climb their way out. But the thing with that is, yeah, they're velociraptors. Velocity. They're going to want to run. They're going to want to move. So being cramped in here, they're just going to want to find a way out. And obviously they were already trying to find a way out. So their want to find a way out is going to be amplified, being cramped in this tiny-ass space. Not being able to see around them, these things being like tactical hunters, especially the main female who like to hide in the back and observe the entire thing. Not being able to observe is gonna drive her batshit fucking crazy. Yeah, so I can definitely see where this is a really, really a bad idea.
Turnover. It doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, my last concern is this. This is the remote-controlled door that is supposed to let the feeders drop a live cow into the
How
pen
high could they
using a
jump?
crane. A big, gaping hole in the enclosure
Yeah.
that opens several times a week. Just marvelous. She's on her side.
There we go.
What are her symptoms, Muldoon?
I'm not in close proximity to examine her, Jerry, and I can't get in there at the moment. I'm heading over to the Raptors to help Robbie.
Okay, I'll head over soon.
Thanks, Jerry.
No problem. Good luck at dinner.
Yeah, thanks. Bye.
Alright, we just get a Stegosaurus drop. I appreciate that. I like Stegos. Lego my Stegos, you know what I mean? That was really bad. I'm sorry.
Robert Muldoon, Game Warden, Velociraptor Containment, Isla Nublar. It's the evening
There were
of
6
September
days.
9th. I'm documenting the raptor feeding protocol. It started raining, but after a long conversation with John, I have finally been granted permission to perform the procedure at night.
Okay.
Took a bit of back and forth, and some nasties were exchanged. He called me an alarmist. I called him a mad scientist. But
Huh.
at the end of the day, no
Both can
hard
be true.
feelings either way.
I said both can be
I
true.
think this will help with raptor
But still get
aggression.
some stuff done, you know? No trank rifles. Just random ass
I
cow.
have Robbie Hadira with me, and he's got tonight's dinner ready.
Her name's Mildred.
Robbie has been warned that naming the food items for the carnivores on this island is an exceptionally bad idea, as it psychologically creates an attachment with the animal, and then you're forced to watch their final moments of life at the hands of the velociraptors.
Pretty brutal last
Robbie
moments of
and I
life,
are
yeah.
now standing back within the buffer enclosure, and in the feeder, we've left Bessie.
Mildred.
We've left the poor soul.
That was T-Rex.
Once the prey is in the feeder, the handler will exit the buffer.
Bye, Mildred. So sad.
Again, that's
Oh, it'll
that's something I don't get is it might be a nitpick, okay? Might be a nitpick. Yeah, but at least the way that the movie showed it, even when we saw the map, were we close enough to one another as far as the raptors, the T-Rex, the Parasaurolosaurus are concerned in the Dilo to hear them all? I mean, if they're in distress and they're screaming and stuff like that, I get it. We're going to hear them. But with how much we've been hearing, maybe it's a tease for like the dinosaurs he's going to be showing later. Because I think the next two involve T-Rex. I think the last one's the Dilo. So maybe we'll get a Parasaurolosaurus somewhere in there. It's just throwing me off a little bit. I would assume there's some extensive distance between each enclosure to where we wouldn't necessarily hear all of these other dinosaurs. But that, again, could be a nitpick.
Only be a sad farewell soon, Robbie. Now, I want to make note here in particular. It is definitely unusual that the raptor pack has not approached the feeder yet. They are normally pacing about, studying their new prey item eagerly. But then again,
'Cause
this
you're there
is the
with a
very
flashlight.
first time we're doing this at
Yeah.
night. So they may not be aware of what's happening entirely. I'm going
See,
to
that was
turn
the
this
T-Rex
off
right there.
and watch for the raptors before proceeding out the buffer and locking both gates. Like I said, they are normally quite excited at this point, attacking the fences. So this is a little odd, I must say. The feeder doors have been opened,
Okay.
but still no sign of the raptor pack.
They know you're watching.
Bessie's unknownly wandered out. In the enclosure.
Poor Mildred.
Why is he
We
giggling?
might as well call her dead meat at this point. Robbie and I are watching the hunt from the perimeter. I have to add
They
this
still
is
know you're
the
there.
longest the raptors have taken to respond to prey in their enclosure.
Because they can smell you and see you. They have night vision.
Are they?
Oh, wow, yeah, look at the cow. Wouldn't the cow freak out by, like, smelling the raptors?
I see Storm and her sister. And there's the big one. She's going to make the first strike.
Tell me the cow just stands there. Oh! Well, no, bring that back. Bring that
There's
shit
the
back.
big one. She's going to make the first strike. What the?
Oh, that's so well done. Look at that. One more time. That was great.
See Storm and her sister. And there's the big one. She's going to make the first
Now look at that.
strike. What the?
Yeah. Dude, that was fantastically well done. Oh, don't tell me that's the end of the raptor stuff. Oh, you can't end it like that, dude. Look at that. Yeah, so see, that's T-Rex, that's the T-Rex, and that's the Dilo. Oh man, that was okay. If that was the ending for the Velociraptor section, for his Muldoon logs, that was fantastic. I love the way that he fucking did. That was great. Fucking supposed to be only 3 of them.
I see Storm.
It says
and
most
her
placed for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Look at that.
There's the big
Look at that
one.
hump right there.
She's going to make the
Right
first
there.
strike.
Look at that. Right fucking there.
What the?
So fucking well done, dude. That was fantastic. Holy shit. Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, you need to hop over to his channel. You need to go to Ali Awada. Again, channel link, video link in the description below. If you don't want to look it up yourself, I'm dropping a like on this for sure because of this part right here. This part right here was fantastic. This part right here was worth subscribing to him, even if I don't watch another fucking video of his ever. After these Muldoon logs, shit, that was great. That was handled perfectly. Yeah, another great segment. We got to see the transitional piece between their normal enclosure. Well, I guess it's still going on because this is the normal enclosure. They're not in the one we saw in the movie. But we got to see their first enclosure, and then we got to see the one in the movie, and then we got to see this tease of a 4th Velociraptor being in the enclosure, which is obviously her. Oops. She is... Stop it. Still hiding secrets, still planning, still doing all this, all this hunting kind of stuff. You know, she's like planning her escapes. She's calculating. She's trying to figure shit out. And the dude showed that great. Shout out Ali Awada, dude. That was fucking fantastic. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna do it for this one. Don't forget to do the fun YouTube stuff, like, comment, subscribing, turn your bell notifications. Swing on over to this guy's channel, because that's obviously the video I'm reacting to. I'm having fun with these so far. This is the best one so far. We're getting into the T-Rex next, so I'm a little curious as to what exactly we're going to see with the T-Rex, because the way he set up the Velociraptor so far, I don't want to leave the fucking Raptors. I want to stay on the fucking Raptors. Yep, that's going to do it for this one. Don't forget to do the fun YouTube stuff, like, and subscribing. Is there a dinosaur game you want to see me play? Is there a dinosaur movie or show you want to see me watch and review? Even I'll read novels, ladies and gentlemen. Is there a dinosaur novel that you absolutely loved and you want me to read it? I'll do it, and I'll do a review for it. Post those in the comments below, and I'll catch everybody later.